above all, we ask and pray that only the highest and greatest good for all beings result from our actions, words, and time here together today. So be it, and so it is.
Yeah, baby. That's good.
Happy New Year!
Happy New Year!
Woo! Happy 2025, baby!
20 freaking 5. Oh my gosh.
Oh my gosh.
It hasn't landed for me yet. We're 2 days in. It hasn't landed for me yet.
We were listening to some early 2000s music the other day. It's been 25 years.
No, it has not.
I know.
There's no way.
Like, what is time?
That is so crazy. It's so crazy. But here we are.
Here we are. We are ringing in the new year.
Oh, baby.
And we're so excited. So welcome to Spiritual Girl in a Material World 2025 edition.
2025.
Woo!
I feel so good about this year.
Me too.
Like, so good about this year. I remember in 2019, days before New Year's, and I can always feel into the energy of the year. And 2019, I was just like, this is not it. I don't know why. And I even remember posting a story about it. I'm like, I don't know what's going on with this, but like, it's not the feeling.
Yep.
This year, I feel so energized. I'm so excited. I'm like amped up. I feel like I'm on a high of like 10 energy drinks, but like in a grounded way, you know?
Totally.
It's like it's both like this height and expansion and really grounded and anchored. I'm so ready for this year.
There's so much hope in the air this year. You can feel it. I was also getting similar messages at the end of 2019. It was like all these messages about the things that you're holding on to, like you're going to need to let go. It's going to become so evident that you need to let go, like what you're holding on to. I remember I got this really interesting image of somebody going out into the ocean and like trying to hold on to their suitcases. It was a really interesting message that came through. My crown's tingling as I'm talking about this again. And it was like, in order to ride these waves, you're going to need to let go of, your baggage, your suitcases. And then there was kind of that like heaviness in the air as we were starting 2020, which was wild. And then we all know what happened. But anyway, here we are. It's been 5 years since that happened.
That's so crazy.
5 years and 6 years since 2019. And I do feel like so different. Like there's so much hope in the air. Like so much has been accomplished on the earth plane.
Yes.
People are, bringing down more light than ever. People are more conscious than ever. Here on Earth.
Here for it.
It's so exciting. It is a really exciting time here on Earth. And
it is.
Yeah. And that's, I think, the energy that we're choosing. I know it's the energy we're choosing to enter into the year with.
Fully. Full body, yes, choosing that timeline.
Yeah, a lot of people are choosing that timeline. I do think we've jumped to a higher version, to a higher timeline in recent months and years as a collective. And we'll have some interesting conversations about that in the coming weeks. But there's definitely a palpable shift in the air. I can feel people are just deciding that this year is going to be different.
I think that last year was just such a test for so many people, an opportunity to try on like all of these coping skills. And, the trend of consciousness was like really roaring last year, and then with that always comes opportunity to test out these new awarenesses, and boy were we tested. And now I was actually talking to a client about this morning of last year was building resilience, this year is being able to implement the resilience to be able to hold more.
Yes.
And that's really what it feels like.
Yes.
There's more capacity, and a lot of people, everybody I'm talking to is excited for what this year has to come,
Yeah.
So we're going to talk today about making 2025 the best year ever and how to set intentions in that. And we're going to share a little bit about what we did to ring in the new year, because this is our second year in a row doing this, and I think it's really unique. I shared it with a friend, and she's like, I have so many questions. What do you mean? What did you do? So maybe we start there.
Yeah, let's start there. I love it.
It's our biohacking party that we do.
Biohacking New Year's Eve.
It's so much fun. So we brought in every biohacking tool and device that we collectively have, which includes, and fill in all the things that I missed, but we've got red light, we've got vibration plate, we had a neck massager, an eye massager, a Theragun, a rebounder, cacao, non-alcoholic like lion's mane mocktail beverages,
and the biocharger.
The biocharger, big device. Yes, that is the best.
And a little stimulation device too, vagus nerve stimulation device.
That thing was really cool.
Yeah, it's really cool. And I think that's it. Oh, and adaptogenic mushrooms, tonics.
Oh yeah,
teas.
Love that.
All the things.
So we're just biohacking our way into 2025.
Yes.
And it's so, like, I love this kind of like partying because you wake up the next day feeling so good. And that's how I want to enter the year. I want to enter feeling really good. And I've had like different kinds of New Year's in the past that I can't really remember.
It's true. The crazy things we did, the extremely sky high heels we wore. Like what? Who told us that was a good idea?
A different avatar.
Totally different timeline.
But it was so much fun. And then we talk about like, oh my God, forgot to mention the one thing that I did that that nobody else did.
This was new this year.
This isn't biohacking, but we'll call it like energetic ritual hacking. So I ate 12 grapes under a table, calling in abundance and love and all of the things. And we all coordinated like different colors that we were wearing intentionally for the evening to call in that energy, like orange, red, yellow, green, white, black. Like we covered the rainbow, but wore these colors intentionally to call in the energy of that frequency. So I sat under a table at midnight. Everybody else was kissing and excited and yelling, and I was here popping my grapes.
It was so cute.
You know what? It looks maybe a little crazy, and maybe it's like tipping a little far on the woo side, but mark my words.
It's
2026. Just wait. I cannot wait to do like a side by side of like what I called in versus what is going to happen this year.
It's happening.
So call me crazy, but
no, it's actually like a Spanish tradition.
Yes.
I was seeing a lot about it on the internet this year. And if you guys did this too, let us know. We want to hear. Some people do it just to like call in love or call in their partner. But in these Spanish countries, they do it actually for anything, like to call in all kinds of abundance. And they eat the 12 grapes, I guess, in that 1 minute span, you have to eat it. And then there's one grape per month for each intention you can set. It's like a real thing. But the reason these things work, so we were doing like different colors and, choosing to write down certain intentions and like hold them on us on bay leaves before it turned midnight. And we headed into midnight, in fur and sparkles and, dancing. The reason these things work, let's talk about this for 1 second, is because it really is creating an anchor point for you to remember that, to create that energetically, like stronger. It's not that the grapes are magical and are doing this thing. It's just a strong anchor point and intention that you are setting. And then it becomes even more memorable and anchored down onto the earth by your actions. So it's actually the energy you're infusing into the action that creates this result. And it makes it powerful, but it's a fun viral thing to do too. But that's why these things work. They really are. We've talked about this in a couple of episodes already, just like choosing something when you anchor an intention, choosing something also in the physical to pair it with.
Yeah, it's an extension of the energy to bring from like the other side of the veil into the physical. And, we know like there's really no separation, but as the human experience, it gives you something to literally hold on to. Like, oh, okay, I got this. Like it feels more real. And if it feels real, it becomes real.
Yep.
And so that was what all of these things were. It was literally so much fun.
So much fun.
So we
That's so
highly
cool.
recommend doing a biohacking party. It doesn't have to be for New Year's. You can do it anytime. But if you want to really raise the vibration of you and your core group and the environment, that's the way to do it.
Yeah, absolutely. We highly recommend it. And you can also do journaling, little high vibe prompts. That was something we did. And this has been really fun for me too, to step into doing more New Year's-y stuff now. Because like we talked about in one of our last episodes, I did so many New Year's in silence.
That's right.
Which is very productive too.
Yeah.
But now to have a little bit more activity going, and I just create the reflective time before that type of party and environment. But to have like the activity is so fun for me now too. It really feels like, oh, I'm here. I'm in this world. I'm part of it, and I'm just here participating in the creation of it. So yeah, so we did fun anchor points. We lit our way into 2025, and we're feeling good.
I feel amazing.
Yeah, seriously. What we should add is IVs at one point too.
Oh, 100%.
Totally. That just came to me.
Next one.
Okay, next year. But it's just like this fun little experience to share with people that also get it, and more, as we called it, conscious biohacking New Year's Eve. Very low key, but also very intentional.
It's not low key at all, actually.
Yeah, it's true. It was high key.
It's really high key.
Really high vibe.
So how are we planning on maintaining that high vibe throughout the year? We were talking about this before we started recording, of like how to continue these intentions and affirmations, and how to like biohack our way through the year and really be intentional with what we create. And you found something, was it on TikTok, or it was TikTok University?
Yeah, TikTok you.
25 and 25. Can you share with all of us what 25 and 25 means?
Yeah, well, it was just this little series that I came upon on TikTok, where a lot of these women were talking about 25 things they're going to focus on in 2025. And
that sounds like a lot of things to focus on,
yeah,
but they break it down in such a way that it makes sense, right?
Yeah, and I was breaking it down in my head too. I was like, okay, does feel like a lot, but it's catchy. 25 in 25. And so I was breaking it down in my head. If we were to break it down, it's 2 a month. And then you can also choose one thing that you're working on, like in every month.
Okay, so we've got an overarching theme, and then under that umbrella, 2 intentions for the month.
Yeah.
Okay, now we're just like shooting.
Yeah, we're spitballing now.
Yes. So like an intention for 2 weeks, and then another intention for the last 2 weeks. So you get half and half.
Okay. I like that.
If you're a Virgo, that probably would feel really good, because then you've got 2 weeks of an intention. Then you can really lock into it. I am not that way. I like to kind of blend things and find like this flowy watercolor kind of essence through life. Yeah. So for me, I probably would do 2 intentions maybe for the whole month, because then that can be the anchor point. We'll see. I don't know.
Yeah.
So I guess you have options.
Yeah, you have options. What actually was resonating with me, was it this morning? I don't know. In the past day and a half, I did something. I wrote down 3 focuses that I wanted to have for the first quarter of the year.
I like that.
It felt really good for me too. Because the whole year, like, it can be intimidating if you're like setting intentions, setting resolutions. I'm going to talk about resolutions here in a second too. Especially when we're still kind of in the dead of winter.
Yeah,
like,
now is not the time
astrologically, the new year is not here yet. I always say the new year doesn't actually feel like it really starts until after the first full moon of the year, after the Chinese New Year, and then of course astrologically in the spring with the start of the new
Aries
astrological year. The Aries is the first part of the year. Yeah. So I always feel like, it's hard to like pinpoint down in January 1 and January 2, like what your entire year is going to look like. But at the same point, you can pick things, and we've already,
Yeah.
we're starting to play around with some words for the year. But
Yep.
for me, somehow this morning, it felt so good to just kind of anchor down a couple things that I really want to have accomplished by the end of the first quarter of this calendar year. Something, that I'll share was that I remember right now is just getting the house a little bit more systemized, with, a little bit more organization in some areas and just feeling really free in the house. I really want to have that done by the end of the first quarter.
Yeah.
So I was choosing that as a first quarter focus, one of my first quarter focuses. And that feels really good to me to break down, because I don't want to, necessarily feel like I have to focus on that all year. I really want to get that, moved through pretty quickly.
Collapse the timeline on that, so it doesn't have to be, because whenever we set timelines, it's like it'll take that long.
It's true.
And
however much time you give it, it'll take.
Exactly. So you want to give yourself like an amount of time that feels doable, but that can also collapse the longer timeline. Like this is how we quantum jump into things quicker, is we give ourselves a finite amount of time to complete it.
Yeah.
Not under pressure, but through intuitive action.
Yeah.
And so I love that you've got 3 areas of focus. That's amazing. I like to do something similar to that too, of like, I like to kind of break it down, but usually it's, so with my words have landed in me, but I'm letting them kind of integrate and embody.
We're not sharing yet. We were going to, and then we were like, they're marinating. Like, I feel like we just planted the seeds of the words, and so they're not ready to sprout yet.
Yeah. One of my words came back in October, which they usually do for me. My words typically come around October, November time. And then I really question it and like, say, are you sure about that? Because they're serious. But within my words, I like to do something kind of under that word for throughout the year.
That's cool.
So things that will help enhance the word, if you will. And I was sharing this morning, okay, actually this is so good. A client of mine shared her word with me this morning. And then I was like, oh, with that word comes this supportive word. So her word of the year is more. And I was like, ooh, be ready. You're going to get more of everything. Ooh. And with the word more, you really need surrender. And so the image that came through with that was like, more was what she was building, but surrender was like those temporary support beams.
So good.
While the building is going up. And throughout more, you're going to have to surrender what's not
absolutely
in that. So if you're not ready to share your word, but maybe you have picked a word so far, there's always a supportive word that is like a companion to your main word.
Okay.
And perhaps that can be a focus also.
I'm going to think about that. I got to think about my supportive word now too.
Same.
Yeah.
Because I have 2 words that are like really prominent. And I'm not exact. These words are like very different than I've ever heard before. And so I'm going to really have to sit with it. I'm going to meditate on that one.
Going to have to meditate on that.
And see what support beams I need.
Yeah. I love that you're saying this. I feel very different in my body too.
Yeah.
So I feel like, and you guys know my crazy, beautiful year, all the transformation that's happened. I'm like, I need different things.
Yes,
I need different support than I ever have before.
Well, you're in your body.
Yeah, I'm here. I'm here.
Yay.
Yay.
Not,
I just meant, oh yeah, that's truth. I am here. But like, yeah, I am here. And I do feel so good. I really, I was telling a friend yesterday, I actually feel like happy.
Yeah.
Genuinely happy. And
I can feel that from you too.
Yeah.
It like radiates off of you.
Thanks.
Yeah.
I'm having fun. And I'm excited for all that this year will bring and reveal and invite me into from this place now. So anyway, I need different support.
You do.
I need different things. So I need to really establish some of those different support systems. I've got a few things figured out, but yeah, as the evolving happens, we change, we need different things. If I've learned anything, it's that I know nothing.
Amen.
The more I learn, the more I realize I actually know nothing. But that I'm just leaving space for the things to shift. We talk about this with my clients and my programs and stuff. Integrity is understanding that what's true for you one day may actually not be true for you or in alignment for you 2 days later, or a month later, or a week later, or a year later. And flowing with that is actually integrity, rather than being super rigid and going, I always do this. I always need that. I always, 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 being in the present moment, the now moment looks like checking in regularly and saying, okay, what do I need right now?
Yeah.
Still having discipline and still holding yourself to that high standard.
I see what you're saying.
Yeah.
It's like integrity of the moment, not like the big word integrity. It's like right now. What's an integrity right now? Yeah. And that's all we have.
Yeah.
Right now, so
totally. We just have this present moment. So who are you right now? What do you need right now? And again, I'm not saying don't honor commitments and things like that, but it really is about, especially as we're evolving spiritually, it really is about leaving room for your desires to change, your
integrity for growth.
Yeah,
too.
Thank you.
Like,
your self to change.
If you stick to one thing, but you are evolving and you're like, well, I said this, you're actually like holding yourself captive rather than being in integrity of the growth that is you, that you are experiencing.
Yeah. That's been a big part of my journey. Like not being attached to the right and wrong. And also, finding a balance again around discipline and commitment. Even, there's moments that you're not going to feel like doing something that you committed to doing for yourself, especially when it comes to things like working out and eating right, et cetera, et cetera. And so, finding the balance, the healthy balance around when it's time to really stick to a commitment and when it's time to go, oh, wait, hold on, I need to give myself grace and flow and evolve, and this needs to change. And I'm not doing that anymore, So
I love it.
Yeah.
Evolution.
Yeah.
More of that in 2025. Evolution into resolution.
Ooh. I like that.
You found some interesting things on the origin words of resolution just yesterday.
I went down a little bit of a resolution rabbit hole, looking into the word a little bit.
Wait, that's a thing. Resolution rabbit hole. Okay. Tell us all about it.
I was looking up the etymology of the word, and the Latin root of the word resolution means to loosen or release.
Let it go.
So good, right?
That is so good.
Yeah, so
I feel like that's opposite of how we interpret it now.
I know.
Because when we're calling in like New Year's resolutions, it's like, what am I going to do? Right?
What am I resolving to do? What am I, resolute about? That's another, translation of the word.
And really it's what's releasing and loosening.
That is how I am totally choosing to look at it right now. Like that is it. Because of course this is my actual favorite topic, loosening and letting go and changing your energetic patterns and letting go of things and studying behavioral change for,
Ever.
16, 18 years now. That's my favorite part is like letting the things go and how to let go and the science of transformation and all the things I've been studying. And so when I came across that yesterday, I got so excited. So I was like, this is such a timely discussion. What do we actually need to release as we're going into the new year? What do we need to decide that we are loosening our grasp on? So you can take, if you've set any like solid resolutions or goals for the year, you can take it and kind of fit into this framework, right? So if this is your intention, whatever it is you want to accomplish, then what do you need to let go of daily for that to come into fruition?
Okay, so this just dropped in and I actually love this. So I don't really yes, we celebrate the new year January 1st, right? But I really, really celebrate the spring equinox.
Yeah.
So I love actually setting a resolution for the new calendar new year and then the intention at the spring equinox. So that gives me 3 months of releasing, finding resolution.
Wow.
Oh my God, that's so good. I love that actually. Because there are some things that still need to be tied up, or let go of and loosened so that something can fit in.
Yeah.
Okay, that I love.
What's coming to mind right now that you feel like you're ready to let go of?
There's specific contracts, like actual contracts that that are coming up, that are completing, that I was thinking about continuing, and I'm not going to continue.
Wow.
So loosening those, letting go of those, I feel really good about it.
Okay.
It's definitely going to have a ripple effect of change, which is good. I've been seeing 555 like nobody's business. So the universe is already telling me like this is the way to go, and that those contracts don't need to continue. There's two in particular that are like right in front of my face, and they really are completed before the spring equinox. So resolution to complete those and to let them go.
I love.
Yeah, me too.
That's awesome.
Let me set free.
Her face is like brighter right now in this moment. She's like more lit up. I can see.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's good.
It feels like the weight on my shoulders is dropping.
Mm-hmm.
And melt into it. I like that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I feel like I got a nervous system reset too.
Yeah.
It's inviting me into easier release of things as well. There's okay, so for me, I feel like a lot releasing in the physical right now. A lot of decluttering that I'm being invited into, like next level. I did a lot of decluttering around October in 2024. And now I don't even know how I feel like there's more stuff. I've really been feeling.
There's so much stuff.
I've been feeling like, oh, why do we have so much stuff? There's so much stuff. And so doing closet clean out and some closets in the house that need to be cleaned out too. So that's really what I'm feeling. And I like this extra time to get rid of it before spring equinox.
Is it extra time or is it just like a perfect use of the time?
Yeah.
You know?
There we go. Yeah. It feels, so right. Yeah. So I feel like this year, it's interesting because we talked about this in an episode too. This year is technically, like a lot of people are saying, is a 9 completion year.
Yeah.
But I do feel like I completed so many things. I feel like 2024 felt like a big completion year. So now that we're talking about like releasing things, it just feels like a natural continuation of the energy we've been in the past year, to continue tying up these loose ends before things really start to accelerate.
Okay, so I had a realization about this morning.
Okay.
So 2024 was a personal completion year for me.
Okay.
It was a 9 year for me. 2025 is a 9 year for the collective. But you and I both have life path 1, which if we get the collective and our personal life path number, that's 10, which is new beginnings. It's a master number. So really this is like our new beginning year.
Oh, okay. So wait, how do we figure out our personal number? So for people listening, I need to know this.
Oh my God, this is so great. So your birth date, all of the numbers added up. So I'm 4/10/1985. So
I'm going to do mine too. Keep going.
4 plus 1 plus 0 plus 1 plus 9 plus 8 plus 5.
Okay.
That gives you a number. I can't remember what that number is right now.
Want me to do it? Oh, yeah.
I know for sure we're both life path 1s.
Okay, so 4 plus 1 plus 1 plus 9 plus 8 plus 5.
Correct.
It's 28. Okay. So, yeah, I'm a 1, you're a 1 personally. And then how did we figure out what last year was for us then? Because you said it was a 9.
That's a completely different system.
Oh, okay.
That's based off of the original playing cards, which is the original tarot back in Egyptian times. Actually, that's how they hid the astrology tarot aspect, which we'll have to talk about that in a whole other episode.
Okay, add it to the list. We have been keeping a list, by the way,
yes,
of all the things that we said we would do a whole episode on. So I know we say that a lot, but don't worry, we're keeping a list.
We do. We'll circle back.
Yes.
Promise.
Okay, so that's how they hid the wisdom.
Yes, that's how they hid the wisdom to protect it. So each card in the playing deck is associated with a day of the year,
Okay.
52 cards, 52 weeks,
Oh.
4 suits, 4 seasons.
Okay. I think I knew this somewhere in the depths of my brain. Keep
You
going.
do.
Keep
You
going.
do.
Okay.
You're remembering.
I'm remembering from
So,
Egyptian days. Ooh, I just got a
exactly.
little chilled on my left side. Thank you,
Exactly.
confirmation.
So we're all assigned a card, and that's your like life path card, which then shows you there's a whole report. I can't remember what the site is called right now. It's like Seven Thunders. I think it is that actually, seventhunders.com.
Okay.
And you can do a reading, like you get your report for the year. You can do a couples report so you can see like the overlay. It's very closely tied to astrology and all of that.
Wow.
It just gives you another layer, but oh my gosh, it breaks it down for like every month in association with the planet alignment for your life path number.
Wow.
It's like crazy specific, and it's triggering, you guys. It's so triggering. Like anytime I read that report, I'm like, do I actually want to read this? Because I don't know if I want to know. It's that accurate.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
So last year was my completion year. It was a 9 year for me, and it was very much a 9 year. And so I am staking my claim on this being
Okay.
my new beginning year.
Totally.
Mm-hmm.
So once you go through 9, then you start back over.
From my understanding.
Okay.
There's a lot of knowledge in there.
All right. We'll link the site for you to dive into. We'll link it in the show notes for you to dive into. And now I have to dive into it.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
I should probably get like some sort of code for you guys. I'll work on that.
Okay. Well, that's an intention for this year. We're going to be doing more codes, some really cool guests this year, and all the cool like resources that we love.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm excited for that too. Like, just share. There's no gatekeeping.
Yeah.
Like, this is all just wisdom that we've been gifted, that now we are gifting, because that's what we're here to do, is continue to gift over and over and over again. Our wisdom, our insight, our knowledge, our inspirations, the rituals that we do. It's not just for us. It's for all of us. So,
information from the lifetimes.
Lifetimes. Many lifetimes of wisdom to share here.
Yeah. We sat in a real ceremony the other day together, medicine ceremony. So I'm saying real ceremony because we had ceremony on the podcast episode that you may have listened to last
If
batch.
you haven't listened to it, oh my gosh.
Go listen to that.
Go listen to it, because there was so much beauty that was uncovered there. But then, yes, right after that, we sat in
a medicine.
Psilocybin. It was amazing. It was beautiful.
Yeah. Well, and we got some more information about one of our lives together too. So we've known this, that we had lives together, and we got some more information too about one of the reasons why we got even more triggered. Anyway, it's been really beautiful to like see some of the depths of the wisdom, and we're really intending to, share some more of that this year, and along with some really cool guests that we are calling in, and wisdom that comes through them too.
Yes. So wherever you're at right now, whenever you're listening to this, please share with us. Share on your stories on Instagram. Tag us at Spiritual Girl Podcast, and what your word is, what your support word is, how you plan on taking your rituals throughout the year. Like, we want to know it all. We want to be able to share and know where you're at too. So let us know.
You guys are sending some really cool questions already, and we are loving that too. We've got a little bank of questions we're going to be going into this year. We really want to make sure that we're opening that dialogue too. So definitely reach out. And
yes,
should we talk about our next opportunity to hang out in person?
Yes.
Woo!
This date is actually so special.
So powerful.
Okay, so January.
I just felt the big whoosh of energy as you're starting to talk about it.
Yes.
Okay, mark your calendar, Spiritual Girls.
Yes, January 25th, 25. So 1/25/25. Do you know what is special about this day?
I think I know, because you sent me a TikTok.
Every single planet is going to be in alignment.
Every planet, you guys. Every planet is going
The
to be in
stars
alignment.
have aligned for us to come together on
Okay.
1/25/25. We're
Full
going to do
chills.
an in-person event. We're going to do live podcast recording. We're going to take so many questions.
Yes.
It's going to be a little bit more of an extended event. We're so excited to bring this to you guys when literally the stars are aligned.
Literally, the stars and planets are aligned. So we're going to be talking about the year, some vision anchoring for the year. We're going to be, again, taking questions, like Sam said, and we're going to finally do our non-alcoholic toast with my favorite non-alcoholic champagne. So if you missed this story, we were so excited. We ordered this amazing champagne for our launch party. It got delayed. It got held up for like 4 days in a random shipping facility, and it didn't get here till after our party. And we just said, okay, well, that means that we have to hold another event here soon.
Yeah.
And we're going to do it now on 1/25/25. We've got the German non-alcoholic rosé champagne ready. And we're going to do a toast to the year 1/25/25, but it's going to be a really powerful time to come together in the physical too, to be able to literally align
So good.
your visions, your intentions for the year while the planets are aligned. I have full chills as we're talking about this.
Love it.
So this is going to be awesome.
Yes.
So yeah, we're going to have
wait to
tickets
see you
available. We'll have all that linked as well. And yeah.
Until next time.
Till next time.
Stay tuned.
Stay tuned.